add any. It depends on how much fat is in the meat. But this is a very lean meat, so we're going to add just a little bit. And in it goes, and this is why it's called stir frying, because we're going to move it around as it browns. And while we're browning meat, we should talk about why in the heck we're cooking meat in the first place. Well, cooking actually brings in flavors to meats. We can add spices and salts and pepper and different kinds of flavoring. It also tenderizes the meat so we can chew it, which is nice. And last but not least, it makes the meat safer to eat. Okay. Now, while this is cooking, we're going to add some flavorings. Some of the flavorings we're going to add are green onions that I've chopped, sometimes called scallions. A little bit of brown ginger, very good in stir fries. A little bit of garlic that I'm using powdered garlic today. Oh, this is smelling wonderful already. Okay, now we have most of the pink colors off the meat. We don't want to overcook it because modern meats are so lean, if we cook them too long, they would get dried out and tough again. So this is perfect. Now we're going to add chopped green peppers and, whoops, big piece of tomato. Little pieces of tomato. Now these don't have to cook very long at all, because another thing about stir frying is the meat is done just so and the vegetables are crunchy. The last thing we do is I'm going to add some teriyaki sauce that I just bought at the grocery store. And we have supper in no time at all. Okay, now we're going to talk about slow cooking and quick cooking. First, slow cooking. We're going to do it in a crock pot. Now this is perfect for stews or soups or anything you want to get cooked ahead of time and then slowly continue to cook. So you don't have to be cooking at the last minute. You come home from work, your supper's already there. This is a wonderful pot for that because it cooks on very, very low heat. So what we're going to do is a beef stroganoff. This is my favorite recipe. We've taken about 2 pounds of sliced round steak, which is a not very tender cut of meat. I put it in there with some beef broth. I flavored it with Worcestershire sauce and a little bit of ketchup. Now that's been cooking for 6 hours on low. That's right. Now just at the end, I'm going to add some mushrooms. And then just before I serve it, when it's nice and warm but not boiling, I'm going to add some sour cream. That's what makes it stroganoff. This is just perfect for days when I don't have the time to cook right at the end. I can even start this the night before, heat it up in the morning. Now let's talk about quick cooking, when you don't have time for slow cooking. How about the microwave oven? It's a great place to cook meat when you don't have any time at all. Now there are a couple things you have to know. One, you have to know the wattage of your microwave oven. You have to make sure you brown the meat before you put it in, since the microwave will not brown meats. And you have to make sure that the meat is of uniform size. Best to refer to your manual that you got with a microwave oven for that. Well, I think we've covered meats from beginning to end. You know what meat is and why it's good for you and what kind of serving you should have. You even know the cuts of meat and how to cook them. But before we talk about all the ways we've cooked meat, let me just mention to you that when you go to the grocery store, you're going to come across a lot Greens products. The meats are already cooked and selected for you. All you have to do is come home and warm them up. So that's nice to know because these varieties are increasing every time you go to the grocery store. But now let's review about the meats we actually cooked. We've braised tough meats. We've pan-fried tender meats. We've stir-fried the Chinese style. We've slow-cooked or stewed our stroganoff. We've broiled our Chinese pork tenderloin. And we've pan-fried my personal favorite, the hamburger. And now I'm going